I'll never forget the first time I met a guy who's now one of my favorite clients. He's been retired 6 months and said, "Keith, I think I made a mistake. I'm bored out of my mind and my wife is getting tired of having me around all the time." Fast forward 2 years, and now when we talk, he tells me retirement's the best thing that's ever happened to him. So what changed? Welcome back. And if we haven't met, I'm Keith Demetriades, a financial advisor based here in Pampa, Texas. Over the years, I've noticed that the people who absolutely love retirement do 7 specific things. When I explained what they were, he went from feeling unhappy in retirement to loving every minute of it. Using these 7 habits could be the difference between living the good life and watching Matlock reruns, wondering where your life went. And before we dive in, I've linked my free Designing the Retirement You Want guide down below. Be sure to grab it. We all know that money is important in retirement. It's probably the most fundamental need, to be honest. Let's take a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You can see that the bottom 2 levels are things that money helps provide. But there's a lot more to life than just meeting those needs. And that's where the 7 habits come in. I'm just going to warn you, a lot of people think these things are optional, but they're not. Not if you want to get the most out of your retirement. The first habit is rhythm. Having structure that actually works for you, not against you. Most people think retirement means sleeping in every day and having 0 on the schedule. That sounds great until you realize you've been wearing the same pajamas for 3 days and you can't remember what day it is. Happy retirees create rhythm in their lives. Not rigid schedules that would make a drill sergeant proud, but purposeful structure. This might mean volunteering every Tuesday, having coffee with friends on Friday mornings, or taking that pottery class on Thursday afternoons. Having somewhere to be matters more than you might think. The second habit is protection. Safeguarding the important things. And I'm not talking about hiding your money under the mattress. Happy retirees protect their time, their energy, and their relationships. They avoid energy vampires, those people in situations that leave them feeling depleted rather than fulfilled. They surround themselves with people who lift them up and activities that give them life. They've figured out that saying no to the wrong things means they can say yes to more of the right ones. Third is health. Treating your body like it's the only one you've got. Because spoiler alert, it is. Here's what's different about happy retirees. They don't just exercise, they move with purpose. They garden because they love tomatoes. They dance because it's fun. They take long walks with their spouse because that's when the best conversations happen. And they treat nutrition like fuel for the adventures they still want to have, not like punishment for enjoying their younger years. Fourth is generosity, giving back in ways that actually fulfill you, not just make you look good at church. The happiest retirees are wise about their generosity. Yes, it's important to give financially, because let's be honest, that creates a tangible impact. But they also give their time and their wisdom. They mentor young people, volunteer for causes they care about, or even help their neighbors figure out why their Wi-Fi stopped working. And by the way, if your Wi-Fi goes out, don't call me. I'm not that guy. You need barbecue advice or a suggestion on where to eat? That's me. I'm your guy. And obviously, questions about your finances and retirement, let's talk. There's a link in the description to schedule a free consultation. But seriously, generosity can help keep you feeling useful and connected to something bigger than your daily routine. I'm telling you, connection is one of the happiest side effects of generosity. And we're going to talk more about that in just a minute. Also, if you're finding this breakdown useful, give the video a thumbs up. It helps me know what kind of videos you find helpful. The 5th habit, it's delegation. Letting go of what you don't need to control, which for some of y'all is going to be harder than giving up your morning coffee. Happy retirees learn to delegate. They hire someone to mow the lawn so they can spend time with the grandkids. They let a financial advisor manage their investments so they don't have to stress about every market hiccup like it's the end of the world. They understand their time is more valuable than their need to personally organize every closet in the house. 6th is connection. Loneliness is one of the biggest threats to retirement happiness. The smartest retirees work at staying connected to family, friends, and their community. They show up for their grandkids' games. They join clubs. They maintain the friendships that energize them. And they put themselves out there to meet new people. They know that sharing experiences is what makes them worth having in the first place. And the seventh habit is growth. Never stop learning, even when your brain occasionally feels like it's running on dial-up internet. The happiest retirees stay curious. They learn new skills, explore new places, read books that challenge them beyond the crossword puzzle. Growth doesn't have to mean going back to college. It might mean learning to cook something more exotic than meatloaf, or finally taking that art class you've been talking about. So there you have it. 7 habits that separate the retirees who love life from the ones who don't. Taken all together, it might sound like a lot. So let's talk about how to build these habits without overwhelming yourself. The key is to start small and be intentional. You don't have to do everything at once, like you're training for some kind of retirement Olympics. Pick one habit that resonates with you most and focus on that one first. If it's rhythm, maybe you commit to one regular activity each week. If it's connection, maybe you reach out to one old friend each month instead of just thinking about it while you're brushing your teeth. Here's why this approach works. These aren't complicated habits, but they do require you to live differently. Forget the idea of just relaxing and doing whatever you want. That's a recipe for boredom. And money alone won't solve that problem. You need to be deliberate about how you spend your time and your energy. If you have great financial plans but no plan for your life, you can get bored, depressed, or feel like you've lost your purpose. And I think we can all agree that that's nobody's vision of the ideal retirement. Here's a question, and I want to hear from you in the comments on this one. Which of these 7 habits do you think would make the biggest difference in your retirement? Are you the type who needs more structure? Or are you already so scheduled you need to pencil in time to just breathe? Let me know below. I read every comment, and yes, even the ones where you tell me my jokes aren't so funny. Let's finish up by circling back to Maslow's hierarchy. Now, I'd never tell you that a good financial plan isn't essential. It's the foundation for your life and retirement. But once you've got that covered, you're dealing with the top of the pyramid: self-actualization, purpose, meaningful relationships. The 7 habits we've discussed, rhythm, protection, health, generosity, delegation, connection, and growth, they're what help you climb to that top level. I'm Keith Demetriades. If this video gave you a different perspective on happiness and retirement, be sure to subscribe to the channel and pass it along to someone who's still thinking retirement is just about the money. Real wealth starts with real life. Don't just plan the numbers, plan the life.